So just one night, campfire under the stars, Mari brings out his crows, and we tried, and we were just blown away by how different it was. Just the fact that you could drink it neat. I never knew gin to be drank neat. It was always with tonic or something like that.
I'm sure it's like those high school memories where gin was something that, when you think of gin, you think of the toilet bowl, man.
My gosh, I don't even want to talk about it, right? Mari, before we start, it's 2020, it's our second year, it's going on our third year actually. So we first really we went camping 2016.
Yeah,
you established the company in 2016. We started the process in 2017.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to get my dates right.
I know, I've forgotten already, right? It's been so long.
And that's a cool thing to mention, the whole camping thing.
Yeah, those are the things.
That's because that's really kind of our story, and that's how that's how it all started.
Sorry?
I'm recording all of this. I just usually.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. No. I think that's, those are the things people want to know, right? I mean, how do these things come about? It's not like, you go camping, you talk about these things and, over some reefers and that's it, man. Hey, let's do something about this, pare, And then singing in the campfire.
Yeah, with Shaver Lake.
Exactly, dude. Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
Crow Stalk. Do I say number 2 or just, that's it?
Yeah,
number
if you
2.
want. Episode number 2.
Episode 2. You guys okay with my background and everything?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So here we go. Crow Stalk number 2. It's about time we introduce everyone to our USA business partner and very good friend, Luigi Lacson, in the house.
Hey guys,
Luigi?
How are you? Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's about time, right? Everyone's like, okay, Crows USA. But here's the face behind Crows USA with us right now. So Luigi, finally, right? What a time for us to get together during a time like this, right? And we're going to talk much about COVID. But yeah, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so guys, thanks for having me. It's kind of, we get together at this unusual time, but we got to make use, right, of what we can do. Yep. And I'm glad to be here, and I want to introduce Crows USA to everybody in the Philippines. I know some of you may know me, but I'm sure a lot of your listeners and your fans, your followers.
We're still hoping we get 001.
Soon we'll have them.
Soon. Yeah.
But I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and all your employees there and everybody's doing good.
Yeah, it's right now it's a crazy time, right? I mean, when was the last time something like this happened, right? What was it? The bubonic plague? Some Spanish flu?
Yeah, the Spanish flu.
Dude, just think about that. Back then, they didn't even have underwear, or did they?
I think they did.
They probably did, but just didn't use it.
Okay. No, because I'm watching Outlander, so I'm trying to figure out. Maybe it was that time, right? Anyway, so here we go. Luigi, Crows USA, how the hell did it happen? I mean, where did it come from?
Well, as some of you may know, Trisha, my wife, and Marisol are good friends, and that's how I got to meet Mari and everything. And I think it all started because of the love of camping. We have a common friend that loves to go camping, invited us one time and said, hey guys, you guys should try this. So, Trish and I got an RV, Mari and Sol got their own small RV, and, we all met in Shaver Lake, which is somewhere south of Yosemite. So it's in California, in the Nevada foothills. You know, one night by the campfire, you know, Mari brings out a bottle of Crows and says, "Hey, you know, guys, this is my new project." You know, we knew that he was doing beer and everything, and you know, I said, "Dude, the Philippines is the largest gin consumer in the world, correct?"
That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Don't know that. It's you know, it's actually a good fun fact. You know.
Yes. Yes.
That not a lot of people know that. So they think when they say gin, it's London, because you know, London dry gin, right?
Correct.
But anyway, so just one night, campfire under the stars, Mari brings out his Crows, and you know, we try it, and we were just blown away by how different it was. Just the fact that, you know, you could drink it neat. You know, I never knew gin to be drank neat. It was always with tonic or something like that.
I'm sure it's like those high school memories where gin was like something that, you know, when you think of gin, you think of the toilet bowl, man.
My gosh, I don't even want to talk about it, right? But yeah, so we were talking, and you know, we were just blown away by how good it was. And you know, I think when we got back, it was also through, you know, one of our fishing expeditions here in Redwood Shores, where you guys live and where we live, or where you guys stay here in the US. We just said, hey, this is something that we need to bring in here. We gotta sell this here. We've gotta, you know, there's a good market of craft gin in the US. Right. And I think, you know, we all believe that, you know, it had a place here. So I think what we did after that was, you know, we went to Total Wines and Bevmo and bought like, I don't know, like 30 bottles of gin, different gin.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, so people were looking at us funny, like, what is this four people doing with all this gin? It was all gin, cartons of gin. So anyway, we bought like 30 bottles and we taste tested everything. It
was a blind taste, right? Blind tasting.
I think what we did, we narrowed down a lot of the gins, and then I think we had like 15, Crows being one of them, and we did the blind test with.
And you invited also a friend. I remember you invited a friend over.
I invited my cousin Jose Santos.
That's right.
And then it was you, me. Not sure if Iken was there, but. We did taste. Was it taste?
Yes.
The smell,
and
the aroma.
I
think we also, but we did a testing, and all of us had Crows always on the top 5 of our, you know, by rating or by ranking. And you know, after that, I said, hey, you know, it's a no-brainer. We should do it here. We should open a distillery here and do it. I mean, where else would be a perfect place to open the first Philippine craft gin other than San Francisco?
Exactly. I mean, it just that one decision, right? That one decision.
Yeah.
But little did we know all the hurdles that were gonna come our way after that decision, right?
Hey, you make me open a distillery right now. I can do it quickly.
It's still top shelf. It's still top shelf. It's still top shelf.
I always tell people that we didn't have anybody that we can talk to or you know, just get ideas or even just to guide us. We didn't really know anybody here in terms of other distilleries, breweries. So Mari and I, Saul, Trish, we all did it on our own. It was really a process. So just to kind of go back, we opened the company. We registered the company in 2016.
Wow!
I think it was
time flies, man. Time flies.
2017 is when we started the process. I believe I started the process sometime in February. And just to give you guys an idea, it took 8 months to get our license. That's just our license. So there's two types of licenses that you get here in the US. One is from the federal government, which is the TTB. So basically a legit background check. They just want to make sure that
you guys are up and up.
You're not laundering money. That's their number one concern. And then of course there's the California license, which is the ABC, where they just want to make sure you're in compliance with everything. So that's about an 8-month process. Sometimes longer, sometimes quicker.
But so wait, but to get those licenses, Luigi, do you need to have a location? I'm just trying to recall. You have to have a location?
That's correct. That's what I wanted to mention, that during the licensing process, you need to have your own location, warehouse, or where you're going to distill. So basically, that's 8 months of paying rent and not earning any money.
See, a lot of people don't know that.
I
mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, you're burning and you can't produce anything in the location.
Oh,
you can't.
No.
That's illegal.
You cannot. Not a drop. You get in trouble. Here in the US, they take alcohol very seriously.
Right.
So we had the place for 8 months, no income, nothing. We had to buy our still. We ordered our still from North Stills in Canada.
Oh,
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Dylan.
Yeah, I remember Dylan. Yeah. Imagine that. We were crazy looking for a still. We said, forget China, too far away, too many variables. Yeah.
So you have to order the still. ABC, which is the California people that give you the license, comes in and takes a look at the still. So you've got to assemble it. So it was funny when I got it was crates and crates. I actually have pictures, and I'm gonna send it to you guys. So
we gotta show that. Because it was like a Lego piece, right? It was like a Lego set.
Oh my gosh!
It was all over the floor, and you're picking up pieces, saying, "Mari, where the hell does this go?" Right? I'll never forget
thank God
that.
for FaceTime, or else I would have been screwed. Like I said, nobody was helping us out. I mean, we did this on our own. So I was like, okay, Mari, what do I do with this piece? Where do I put it, right? So anyways, so they come in, they check you out. I think around, was it October or something, that we finally got our license, both licenses. In we ordered our first batch of ethanol, and then we started our first batch.
That was scary. I'll never forget that. It was scary because we wanted to make sure, I'll never forget, it had to be the same gin we enjoyed in the campfire that was from Manila. I mean, from the Philippines. It had to be the same spirit. Yeah. It was scary. I'll never forget that. I mean, everything had to come together. Yeah. And finally it did.
We did that. We did our first batch. Soon, right? I think after a few weeks before you guys left for Manila, we did our second batch, and we had that for about a year or so. We started marketing. So now the next hurdle that we had to encounter was a distributor. Here in the US, unlike the Philippines, it's a 3-tier process, or maybe process is the wrong word. We can edit that.
System. No, that's fine. It's a system.
Yeah, 3-tier system where there is the maker, which is us, and then there is the distributor. So the maker sells to the distributor. That's the first. The distributor then sells to the retailer, which is the bars, the restaurants, and then the retailer is the one that sells to the consumer. Unlike in the Philippines, where when you guys first started in the basement, you guys could sell directly to the consumer, right? And, okay, whatever.
Don't worry,
But-
it's okay.
No, it's
okay.
fine. We're
It's part
fine.
of the history,
We're-
yeah.
It's a part of the history. It makes us a
Yeah.
colorful company, man. I mean,
Correct,
you know,
correct. And it's the truth, right?
there's
It's
nothing
what
wrong
makes-
with, moonshine here and there.
Yeah. Hey, that happened here. I can't mention that. But anyway, so that was our next hurdle in really trying to find a distributor. And it wasn't easy. And as a craft distillery with limited funds and just starting up, a lot of these big distributors, the old distributors or the really big distributors, a lot of times they don't give you time and day, or they don't even give you any attention, because number one, you're a craft distillery that only
You're too
produces
small.
a
They don't
number
care.
of
You're too small.
Correct. And if you only supply all their all the retailers, and for them that's not a good thing, because then we're just going to supply these people and not them. So that, and irregardless, I still went and tried to get in touch with them. You know what? Up to this day, nobody even replied to my email.
Imagine
So
that.
I finally got across what this company called LibDib. It's liberal distribution.
And they're smart. Those guys are smart because they came in
Oh, yeah.
to help all the craft guys out. And that's the biggest
Yeah.
void. Yeah.
So the story behind them, I think one of the owners had kind of same experience as us, where either her family or somebody she knew had a hard time looking for a distributor because they were also a craft distillery. So they decided, hey, in this new age of internet and online platforms, why don't we create an online platform for distribution where we follow the rules, but it's all online. There is no need for sales rep and people to go out there and sell and schmooze and everything. But you are still required, as a maker, we are required to go and sell our products.
Okay.
And when the retailer says, hey, I like your product, where do we get it? Then we say, LibDib. So we are still following the 3-tier process, where the consumer now is interested. No, the retailer is now interested in our product. So they know our distributors. So they kind of go back, oh, I'll go to LibDib, order, and they get their product.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, we got that. And that's how we started selling. That's how we started.
And then of course,
selling.
I mean, we always have to keep trying to sell, right? So it's okay. We've settled the production issue, the licensing issue, and now it's really selling. And in California, I mean, walking into Total Wines, we had how many gins that we were up against, right? How do you get yourself noticed? That's like really tough. And I think talk a little bit about that show we did, and we were lucky enough to get into the AdoboNation. Yes.
Yeah. So that was good. That was able to help us out. Like what we wanted. We wanted the Filipino community here to obviously be aware that, hey, the first Philippine craft gin is here and it's available. So that we wanted that platform. We wanted to get in there. So we did that. They were nice enough to invite us. So Mari and my wife Trish were the ones that came out on TV. I'm
Yeah.
camera
We
shy.
did some cocktails. Yeah, we did some cocktails.
Correct.
Right?
We did some cocktails. So we did that.
That was good.
And yeah, so
Well,
now that
that really helped us. That helped us. I mean, the Filipino community, and then we had a couple of dinners with some friends who are very much involved in the food scene, right? The food scene.
Yes. So one of them is Pinoy Heritage, which is also owned by all Filipinos. They have a kind of their style is a little bit different. They don't have a brick and mortar restaurant. It's mostly pop-ups where, as you know, here in the financial district in San Francisco, a lot of these restaurants only serve breakfast or lunch and afternoon snack, because there's nobody there during nighttime because it's the financial district. So what they do is they take over that restaurant at night, and then they invite people. It's a set menu. So, Crows has been featured by them in a couple of their dinners. They made some cocktails using Crows. So they've been helpful. There's a couple more other bars here that, we're trying to get into. So, it's a process. And, I wanted to also mention that after getting a distributor, now that I think the hardest part is really trying to sell your product, right?
Correct.
We're a small company. Nobody really knows us. So you're trying to push. So I think what we wanted to do was, we wanted to do the craft liquor stores, the small ones. So that's what we targeted, like the kind of high-end liquor store. So we did that, but then, what I learned is these high-end liquor stores, they have such a small space that they can't really put your bottle out there. They'll say, well, you know what, we really like your gin, but as you see, there's no space.
Limited space.
I gotta get rid
Yeah.
So you're fighting for shelf space. So they order, but then I try to go in there, try to look, or I'll have somebody go by and they'll say, hey, I didn't see your bottle on the shelf. So I would email the person and say, well, we're kind of rotating bottles. Of course you understand, right? Because there's no shelf space. So that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to go to these big stores like Bevmo.
Just go for the big ones. Yeah,
might as well, right? Forget about the craft high-end liquor stores. I'm just going to go for these big boys. So I did that, but it's also a process where it takes months to get in. You send them a bottle. There's a lot, like for Total Wines, there was like a 10-page thing that I had to fill out online. And eventually, so like, as you guys know, we're in Total Wines.
Yeah.
Bevmo has our bottle.
Well, a little later we'll talk about where it's all available. But let me ask you this, Luigi. Because now let's talk about the medals, the awards. What is the San Francisco World Spirits Competition about? I mean, because that is like trying to get yourself validated, right, with all the different gins and spirits around the world. So speak a little bit about that.
So the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, I guess it's like the World Cup. People who like football, it's like the World Cup of spirits, right? Everybody from the whole world come in. They've kind of branched out. I know they have a Singapore one, and I believe they have a New York one. But it's really the San Francisco one that was first established. I'm not so sure when, but we can figure that out. But it's the largest, basically. Everybody from the entire world come in. And if you want to get known, that's where you go. And I believe that's where Tito's vodka got discovered, where they got a double gold, and the rest is history.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, so it happens every March. You join, and they do it's all blind taste. It's all blind taste testing. Right?
Yeah.
There nothing.
So
is
they don't look
are,
no shape of the bottle, label, design. That doesn't come in. So you're just a number. You're a number. That's it.
You're just a number. If you check out their Instagram page, you'll see it's all in glasses. Nothing is shown unless you want to join they also have a
label
competition
design.
for label.
Yeah.
Okay.
Label
So
design
that's
competition.
different. That's different.
Yeah.
So you give two 750 ml bottles, and that's what they taste. So
what year did we start? We joined it. The first time was what year?
We joined in 2019.
Right.
We joined in 2019, and we got bronze for 2019.
I was ecstatic, and I'll never forget. You were like, okay, but I wanted something better than bronze.
Of course.
Of course, right? But then the thing is, people don't realize how hard it is to even place third place in a competition like that.
Correct. It's just me being hard on myself, where, what, third place, really? but you know, don't get me wrong. I was happy for a first time for batch to, you know, first Philippine craft gin. You know, I'm honored, you know, for them to recognize us, right?
And you know, let me tell you, when we posted that bronze medal back home, everybody was so proud. I mean, Luigi,
Yeah.
they were all proud because, you know, they realized this is the world stage, man. I mean, you know,
correct,
right?
correct. And just to mention, like in 2019, I know for a fact there was like over 300 gin entries. Okay, there was 300 gin entries all over the world, and for us to place bronze, hey, I was just I was happy, but with the four of us on our group, I was like, really, I wanted something more.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. So anyway, this 2020, we entered again because of course me being, you know, getting bronze, I was like, no way, you know, we gotta get. I want to enter again, right? So
wait, before 2020, Manila, we joined the Singaporean,
correct.
you know, the sister company. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's in Singapore for Asia. And this was the first time they pioneered it, right?
Yeah.
So we brought in our bottle and we did get bronze again, right? So
Correct.
we got bronze in Singapore. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Kind of validates, hey, but the interesting part is, you know, these people, I mean, they really know their stuff.
They do.
For them to get us a bronze here and a bronze there, these people really know what they're looking for, right? And they basically really, they know their stuff. They're legit judges. These are not just regular people. They're, you know, titans of the industry or people that are known, you know, around the world that really do this for a living. So in 2020, I joined again, and I was like, I got worried because I think it happened a few days before the San Francisco shelter in place, you know, because of what's going on with the COVID and everything. Yeah. And I even sent them an email. I said, hey guys, is this pushing through? They go, yeah, we're doing it. And I was like, oh, all right.
Let's throw it in again.
Anyway, you're drinking a lot of alcohol, so you're kind of disinfecting yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it pushed through. And lo and behold, we got silver this year.
Yes! One more.
So I'm really happy we got silver. That I'm happy because once you get there's basically the double gold. Well, there's platinum, double gold, gold, silver, bronze. Everybody except for bronze gets published in a magazine. And everybody except for bronze gets a shot at Bevmo, I believe, or something like that. So we got silver. There is the gold. Now the double gold is how you get a double gold is basically every single judge has to give you a gold, has to award you a gold.
That's
if
awesome.
You get a gold, if every single judge gives you a gold, that's how they give you the double gold.
I see.
How do you get a platinum? If you get double gold 3 years in a row, you are awarded that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of I wanted to explain.
I know I'm glad you did because people don't really appreciate it. There are people out there that don't believe in competitions, right? They think it's all you're paying for your medal just to get yourself, out there and do your PR and marketing. But the reason why I like this specific competition, and it's the only competition we've ever joined, is because of the blind tasting. And the people behind it, the people who are actually trying it out. They're all experts in their fields. They know what the hell they're talking about. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the author of Gin is In, which is, he's a famous author. Aaron Knoll.
Aaron Knoll.
And he actually has done these competitions. And we should talk about that, because I think if there's anyone I've come across that has really been obsessive about gin from around the world, it's Aaron Knoll. And the Gin is In. You've got to check it out. and that's another thing. That's another accolade up for us. What happened was we got a double gold. Correct? We got a
Correct.
double gold from Aaron. He I don't know how he got hold of our bottle, but anyway.
But Mari, we should
yeah.
also mention that this guy doesn't do it for a living.
He does
just
not.
does because of the love of gin, and
Correct.
he grades it himself. It's not like we're paying to enter a competition and trying to get an award.
No, we didn't even know he got hold of our bottle, and we just found out.
Correct.
This is how I got a text from a fellow brewer, and he sent to me, "Hey, congratulations!" I said, "What is this? Check it out." So the gin is in. I went through the website, and I was blown away. I mean, this guy analyzed our gin to a T. I mean, he has his own way of analyzing gin, and he gave us a double gold, and he put us out there, and we used it a lot. We Janjo, right? We sent it out to a lot of people because the way he puts together the analysis of the gin is fantastic.
Yeah. Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I've been taking notes, and I think this is the best time to bring it up. You were talking about the judges. So in the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, you have all these judges who taste it. And what the difference between them and Aaron is that Aaron actually also came out with an article about us using sili. That's the local Philippine pepper, the hot pepper. Now, I'm just talking, from my point of view, because I love peppers. I love chilies. Most of these drinkers or tasters are very familiar with the usual botanicals that they get from different competitions. Now, what the Philippines entry, Crows, has is, for example, there's calamansi, dalandan, there's sili. Could it be, I'm thinking now, could it be perhaps that not recognizing what sili is or its characteristics, that's why they don't go to that double gold era? Well, what Aaron did is that he made a separate article showing that it highlights these chilies, something very different, something very local to our country. So there was more research into it. There was more thought given to that particular botanical that may
I guess,
alien.
you're right, Janjo. It's like the terroir of grapes, right? So in this case, gin is about the botanicals, right? I mean, so if the botanical is unique to your terroir, right, then there you go.
It would seem odd. It would be strange for you to taste it. It would be
correct
off the usual gin path.
Absolutely. And I think, he got excited because, I mean, this guy must have tried so many kinds of gin. And it's like juniper, okay. Cardamom, okay. I've had that, coriander, okay. It's not exciting anymore because it's the same thing over and over again. And suddenly what hits you in the face is Sili Labuyo. What the hell is this? It's a chili from the Philippines, right? Of course you're going to get all excited and saying it makes sense. It can work in gin,
But in a competition, I can understand how it alienates a judge, that if there's something that you haven't tasted ever and you taste it in a gin, it might be a little bit of a turn off, not knowing, since it's blind tasting. I'll give them that. It's blind. They have no idea what botanicals are in there. So I think that adds a little bit to that instead of asking, what is this, is that they judge it because they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I kind of have my 2 cents on that. I think with Aaron, he, like I said, it's not a competition. So he's really judging, he wants to taste, these gins. And for him, for whatever he thinks is good gin, then I think he'll post it, right? He'll give it a medal. And I think for us, he was aware that, hey, Crows is more of a citrus forward gin. It's different. It's not like your other gin, which is fine, right? And he graded it more on the citrus side. And for him, for gins that are on the citrus side, hey, this is the best gin. If you want more citrus forward gin, Crows is double gold standard in that category, or in that kind of whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And going back to the San Francisco spirits competition, a few days before it started, one of the judges, I don't know if it's still on their Instagram, but one of their judges came out because, you know, they were interviewing different judges for different categories. So the gin guy comes out. He's the lead judge, or the main judge, or one of the, I guess, more respected judges. He was looking for a more strong juniper gin. Yeah. So I think that's why it is hard for us to, for him, he wanted balance. But if my understanding is correct, he's more on the juniper side, right, of gin. So that's why I think it's hard for us. I shouldn't say it's hard for us, but for him, for that judge, obviously he'll probably grade us a little bit lower. You know what I mean?
Because it's subjective, right? It's subjective.
Correct,
what he's looking
correct.
for.
You have a lot of judges. Yes.
Right.
And here's one thing I don't think I ever was able to mention to you through our email exchanges, is that I do the live events. I do the bartending. Now, here's one interesting thing that you might take with you back in the US is when I've sold to friends, I've sold to some gin fanatics, and you know the number one thing smokers say? Crow's gin is super duper floral. They can barely taste any of the citrus. In fact, some of them stop buying. And I told them, even at live events and pop-ups that we do, I tell smokers, don't smoke for 30 minutes, try it again. Then citrus comes out. I think because of the complex flavors mix of botanicals, it's very different per person. And I agree it's subjective. It's like wine. There's no such thing as the greatest wine in the world. There's such thing as the greatest wine for you as a person.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's why what you eat affects what you taste when you drink. And when you smoke or not, it's either very citrusy or very floral. Like I had a friend who swore off drinking Crows because he smokes tobacco. He loves his cigars.
Okay.
And he had the podcast and he talked about it. He was like, it's just too flowery for me.
Is that Tirso, is it?
No. It's Lord de Vera of Fray Jacob Sago.
Tirso de Paul, man. And I'll kill him if he stops drinking freaking Crows.
But this guy didn't want to drink it. But when we told him, try not smoking before you drink it. And after that, he completely turned around and he started ordering. In fact, boss, you're like, hey, what's Bottle doing in a podcast of some dude? It's like, that's them. They were the ones that didn't like it to begin with. But when they stopped smoking before drinking, then they got it.
They got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So you really can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
You can't. But you know, like I said, the silver, I'm happy with the silver because if I'm not mistaken, that means there's people that awarded us a gold. There's probably people that awarded us a bronze. A majority of them silver, but you know, I'm happy with this result. So,
and it's sad that, you know, Singapore canceled, right, because of the COVID thing. I mean, we would have joined Singapore if they continued with the competition, but yeah, maybe let's see next year or later this year. But it's always good to see where we are, and it's also a barometer to find out whether we're keeping our quality the way it's supposed to be. And these guys, I mean, we have something there in our recipe, and it's unique. It's the first Philippine craft gin, so that's, you know, it's something to be proud about, right? So let's just keep on rocking, and I'm sure it's really helped. I mean, now that we're silver, and you know, it's when you go meet the big guys, and it puts us there in the profile, right? It really helps.
Yeah, of course. We had a presentation. Well, our distributor wanted us to create a 2-page presentation about Crows, you know, like a history. And of course, the second page is all our accolades. And, you know, gin is in, double gold is there, SF Spirits is, world competition is there, the silver is there. So, you know, it helps. It helps, of course. And, you know, I just wish that this COVID thing didn't happen, because, you know, it would have been nice to kind of ride the, you know, the news. Hey, you know, Crows, the competition just ended. We got silver.
Yeah.
We go all out and selling and trying to tell people, hey, we got silver. So, but what can we do?
Yeah, man. Hey, but anyway, where can we find Crow's Gin in the US? I mean, that's what everybody's been asking us. We're gonna actually have a link around here somewhere.
It'll be in the video description.
It'll be in the video description. We're gonna have
AdoboNation interview will also be linked there. Everything we talked about will be linked.
But briefly, off the top of your head, Luigi, where can we get that?
Sure. So the first people that carried us is K&L Wines. They've been around since the 70s here in Redwood City. So we're available in K&L Wines in Redwood City, San Francisco, and in Hollywood. Then there's a small liquor store, really unique liquor store in South San Francisco. A lot of really cool stuff there. It's called Bitters and Bottles. They've got really awesome stuff, and the staff is really great.
Are they happy with us now there? Are they happy with us now?
Oh, yeah. Our first try, you can edit this if you want, but they didn't really like the second batch, and I said, nah, okay, here, try this third batch. And this is even before winning silver, okay? They tried it, and they were like, okay, this is great. But, it's nice because they had some comments when they first tried it, and I appreciate that. A lot of these liquor stores, distributors, they don't even reply back. I mean, if you don't like it, just say so, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Bitters and Bottles in South San Francisco carries us. Total Wines, there's I think 6 or 7. I have the list here around the Bay Area that carry us as well. And there's a couple more that we're working on, and as soon as we get a hold of that, we'll post it. And there's also a liquor store, Sage and Wine, in New York State.
Okay.
That not in Manhattan, but they are in New York, in the state of New York. They carry us as well.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then there's a bar. There's actually a bar in New York. Here's another thing. I was able to send a bottle to this guy in New York, owner of Ugly Kitchen, Pinoy as well. He loved the gin, so he started ordering, and actually he was posting like, hey, come and try this gin. We're gonna get it next week. Try it out. And then
that's awesome.
We got this sugar.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
But he loves it, so so that's another place. And obviously there's a bunch of places here that we're still trying to work on and trying to get our bottles on their shelves and in their menus.
That's cool. Well, wow, time flies, man. But I'm glad we were able to get together for this, and I'm glad the people out there get to know, the face behind, Crow's USA. And there's so much more that we can do. Let's have more of this, Luigi. And
for sure.
Definitely, there's so much more to talk about. But thank you very much for joining us,
guys,
buddy.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate it. I know it's kind of late over there.
I know, but
it's okay.
Who cares?
Time doesn't exist.
Time doesn't exist.